What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Go up the deuces. There you go, baby.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cage. I'm Christopher James. I'm Christopher James. Happy to be here with you. It's Thursday night. There's fights going on in Bellator. There's fights going on for the presidency. Who knows what the fuck's going on today, but you can always count on when you tune into Cage Live with Christopher James, we're going to have a gosh doggone good time. And right now we're going to bring in this man. He's, if you saw this guy walking down the street, he's a big guy. So, you'd be like, wow, that's a big dude. But he's friendly. He's fun. He's got a big smile on his face all the time. Every time you see him, he's just happy to be alive and hanging out. He's got a beautiful little girl, and life is good. But then you put him inside the octagon or a cage, and holy fucking shit, he fucks people up. So it's crazy. But we're going to bring him in right now. I had him on once before. I like this guy. He's friendly. He's fun. Like I said, he's a father. He's a fighter. He's a fucking badass. Here he is right now, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the show, Josh Parisian coming in, man. What's up, brother?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Oh, same shit, smaller shovel.
I think I've been on your show twice now, actually.
No, once.
Once? Oh, okay.
This is the second time.
Oh, okay.
This is the second time. And this is a good time.
I had to sing for you last time.
Huh?
I had to sing for you last time.
Yeah, that was the first time on the show. Whenever you come on the first time, that's singing. So that's how you know you were only on once, because you would have been like, I sang the first time. I did this the second time. So we're here. So first of all, man, tell us how you're doing today, brother. How's everything going in life? Just give us a basic rundown of the last, few weeks of life. What's going on. You got a fight coming up. How's the baby? All that good shit.
Yeah, everything's going great. My baby mama and myself are doing a good job at figuring out, the best times for me to train, when she can watch Eva, when I can watch Eva, and all that stuff. So. And I'm getting my training camp's going great, and having a baby is way easier than I thought it was going to be so far. So it's all.
Oh, good. Stop that! Stop! That's a lie right there, man. Stop it! There's nobody I know that ever said that in their fucking life. Oh, it's much easier than I thought it was going to be. Come on, is it really?
I think it was because I was anticipating it being so bad that when it wasn't that, it was like kind of a relief, I guess. I thought it was going to be really bad, like never sleeping, anything like that. But she doesn't hardly ever fuss or anything. She's great.
Yeah, man. She's just going to get you later on in life, when she becomes a little older or a teenager, dude. So hopefully she'll turn crazy now and then be cool when she's older. Because right now she can be crazy all she wants because you can still run shit. But, she gets a little older, dude. It's over.
Yeah. I hope not.
But you are the first brave man to ever come on a show and say that being, being a parent is easier. And the only guy that has the balls to do it, and know that the video is going to be out there, and somebody, your baby's mom, as you refer to her, is going to see this, and she's going to be like, "Did that motherfucker say that? Let me fucking educate him,"
Yeah, it's funny that I say that because I'm not the one that's waking up feeding her every night, and she is.
Yeah. Be careful what you say, man, because they always find out, dude. And then,
Yeah.
life is over as we know it. She'll be like, "Easy? All right, motherfucker, let me show you easy." And you'll be like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, I might have just picked up a new job.
It'll be fucking hysterical, man. So, correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong, but because I guess maybe, you know what? I am wrong. I don't even got to correct. I don't even ask you to correct. Last time you were on, we were talking about you being on the Contender Series multiple times and doing the Ultimate Fighter and all that stuff. And now this is going to be your official UFC debut coming in, right?
Yep.
Yeah. For some reason, I was sitting there going, like, I saw your post about it. I was like, he must have got hit in the head hard, because didn't he just have his UFC debut? Then I was like, maybe I smoked too much weed and he already didn't have his UFC debut. I'm like, oops. So, how excited are you to, make the official UFC debut?
I feel like everybody probably says this, but I'm really excited. I have a great matchup for my first opponent. This has been work in the making for 10 years of just sacrifice and ups and downs, and just I guess it's just the culmination of all that. So
Yeah,
I'm
good
pumped.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, man. Like I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I've talked to so many guys, on their way up, or right when they made their UFC debut, or after they made their UFC debut, and it is kind of the standard, cliche answer. I feel great. The biggest moment of my life, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, man, I don't think me, if I was a fighter, or you, or any other fighter that I know of, have spoken to, can probably actually quantify in words what this debut really means, because there's so much attached to it. You could say, oh, it's good, the greatest moment of my life, but, then you compare that, you just had a baby girl and that's the greatest moment of your life. So there's so many different things. I think it's an unfair question that I even ask you or any other fighter, because I don't know if you can really describe it and compare it to everything else in life. In just, a few words. It's a weird thing. I mean, it's a huge moment for you or anybody making their debut. And like you said, it's a culmination of so much hard work and dedication to something that, a lot of people don't get to do. And you're like, boom, there you are, you're doing it. So let's go with a different round of this. How's your family, your parents, not necessarily your girlfriend or your wife or your baby mama, as you say, but what about your folks? Like your folks, do you have brothers and sisters? What's their reaction to actually seeing the culmination of this hard work for you to walk into the octagon here shortly and be an official UFC fighter?
Well, my dad passed away when I was 16,
Okay, did
and
not know that. My bad.
yeah,
My
how dare
my
you
dad.
not know
Yeah,
that?
I know. My dad passed away too, man. It sucks. One of the worst days of my life.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then my mom, she's actually in prison. But I do, yeah.
When you said
Good
that,
job, man.
the way you said it, I was like, he's gonna fucking just come back and be good. I'm just fucking with you. Really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Things we did not know.
Yeah. No, it's her and I have a kind of a weird relation, like a rough relationship, I guess. And although because I had an abusive upbringing, and a lot of that stuff I just didn't understand until later in life, and understanding how abuse is and the cycle, and how she feels like she can't leave. She feels like this. She needs this person around because he made her feel that way and all that. But she ended up. I mean, this is kind of getting deep early, but she got tortured for 15 hours straight, beat with a baseball bat, all this stuff. When I was 17, I think, and so my stepdad went to prison, and then she was just so messed up from the abuse that she was on disability, like can't go to work, kind of like really had bad anxiety and all that stuff, and being alone and all that. So they only give her, I think it's like $500 a month to live on, and then she started like selling her prescription pills that she got to basically just pay to live. And in a way, I understand, but the other side is I was kind of disappointed, and I've been disappointed about that. But she's been in there for a while now. She gets out December. She's excited to
Awesome.
meet her granddaughter, and she's super excited that I'm in the UFC too.
Wow, dude. That's crazy. And you know, um, when I get ready to talk to a fighter, I look stuff up, and I've never seen any of this stuff about your mom anywhere. Because I would have known, I would have said maybe I don't want to ask him that. So I feel awkward, but I also feel good that you brought it up, or I brought it up. You talked about it, and I could see it in your face that it's a tough thing for you, and yet you still brought it up to the people here. And it gives incredible insight to the type of man you are and the character you have to get through that. I mean, I grew up in an abusive thing. My mom used to, I mean, just crazy. And my life is the way it is, because I decided at some point I had to let all that crap go, and I had to focus on living in my world and my life and own it, and so that's more of a testament to who you are, that you made it through all that, dude, and that your mom's doing some stuff, and she did some stuff, and she went through hell, and I can't even imagine that. For that, when you talk to her next time, just tell her, even though she doesn't know me, tell her I feel her pain, because I do. I'm not even saying that to be a smart aleck. Women that get abused and get stuck in those relationships where they can't get away because they've mentally been conditioned to, no matter what happens, I have to stay with this asshole, doesn't matter about my kids, my fucking job, nothing. It's crippling. And the fact that your mom even lived through it is a testament to her character. So, when you do talk to her, tell there's a lot of people I heard that, in the MMA world that have just heard your story that, are in her corner. And, what she had to do to survive by selling some pills, fuck it. It's better than going out and killing somebody. That's how I look at it. So, hopefully when she gets out, you guys will have a good time in December. She'll get to meet her granddaughter, and, hopefully she gets the help she needs outside so she doesn't have to go back inside.
Yeah, she's been doing so many programs inside and doing all this stuff. And I think that it's really, really helped her out a lot. And I'm, looking forward to her being out. And
I'm sure you are, because if she's in good shape mentally and spiritually and emotionally, man, you got to babysit her. So,
Yeah, I know. I'm so looking forward to that so much. She's like, hey,
no, that'll be good. That'll be good, and hey, you know what the cool part about it is? When your daughter gets a little older and people start messing with her, she can go, "Don't mess with me. My grandma's been to prison, motherfucker."
I know. She won't say anything about me being a fighter. You're like, "Mom,
right? No. But see, now she got no. Because we said that the last time we spoke. So she could either use either one. My dad fights in the UFC, and look, man, don't mess with me or him because my grandma's been to prison.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, girl, whatever you need. You need my money? Here's my lunch. Take my hair tie, whatever, girl. So that's incredible stuff, man. And thank you for sharing that with us. All right. So you got a fight coming up, and it is going to take place. Let me pull up my list here, against Parker Porter on November 28th. I think Parker's 13-3. I think you're 13-3 as well. I think he's 13-3. I don't even remember right now. But
9-6, I think he is.
Oh, he's 10-6. I'm reading things wrong over here. He's 10-6. You're 13-3. I've known Porter for a long time. He fought with us back in the day at the XFC, and then he fought John Jones at one point in his career before Jones came to the UFC.
I think it was his second fight ever. Fought John Jones.
Yeah, something like that. It was crazy. And but Parker then left the game for a little while. He became a dad, and he had twin boys, and now he just had another baby. And I had him on a while back too. And the fact that you guys are fighting each other is cool because you guys are relatively at the same level as far as fights. You've had 16, he's had 16. So it's not like they're putting you in there against, a top 10 guy or putting him in against the top 10 guy. They're doing it the right way. They're giving you guys an equal, fair matchup for your debut, which I like. What's your thoughts on Porter as a fighter? I'm sure, you're a smart dude. I'm sure you've done some research. He's from up in the north, the New England fight area and all that stuff. So what's your thoughts on Porter, what you've seen of him and, what you should expect from him?
Well, like my last fight, I made the change where I don't watch video anymore. So I let my coaches do that. They tell me what to expect. They build my camp for me. So I don't really know that much. I know that he's got a little bit of everything. Good grappler. I met him when I was in the Ultimate Fighter tryouts, and he got through all of the cuts. I got through all the cuts. We did medical stuff together. He's honestly a great guy.
Cool dude.
Yeah, super cool dude. I have nothing negative to say about him, but I just got to beat him up.
Got to go in there and do your job. So if this gives you any boost of confidence, my buddy Garrett Kerman, he is the fight analyst. He does a show. He helps people with their wagering, if you will. And he just popped up and he said, "Easy damn money, max bet." He's putting his money in your quarter. He's calling a first round finish. He said your level's above Porter, or he said levels about. Then he corrected it above, and then he said there's levels to this. Now Garrett does this for a living. He, handicaps fights, he handicaps football and baseball and all kinds of stuff. And I have him on the show periodically. We talk, and it's always funny. Normally I get him on the show after a fight event, like we're doing a post fight, and then I bring in a fighter who he picked against, not on purpose. It just happens that way. And he's sitting there, go, hey Garrett, did you pick against this guy? And he's sitting there on camera. He's like, oh fuck, man, again. So once in a while you get him, but he takes it all in stride. He knows I'm not trying to screw with him. It hasn't happened intentionally, but it's happened. But what does it make you feel like when a guy that's in this game that does this for a living puts his confidence in you? He says, that you're worthy of a max bet.
It makes me feel good, but I also try to push that out a little bit because I know Tapology has me at 95% winning with all those votes and everything. And if I believe that, then I feel like I might not come in as sharp. I need to be nervous. So I need to go in there and expect this is a bad dude. This guy can put me to sleep very easily, which is very true.
Yep.
But I just can't believe the hype. Can't believe my own hype. Got to go out there and be scared.
I'm not asking you to believe if the betting guys say it and the odds have me, at a minus 5,000 favorite, to buy into that. As far as how the fight's going to go, I'm just asking you emotionally, mentally, that should make you feel good that, people believe in you. I guess that would be more so people that don't know you, not your friends, not your coach, not your family, outsiders that have never met you, never spoken to you. And they're going, you know what? I feel confident enough in this guy from what I've seen to put my money on him or to back him, give him got to mentally make you feel good as far as, it's nice to feel like the work you do is appreciated by others, I guess, so in that aspect of it, I don't want you to go, well, Garrett said I'm going to win, so I'm going to win. That would be silly. Like you said, you got to go into the fight mentally prepared and be scared, be afraid, be nervous, keeps you on your toes, keeps you sharp. I get that. But just, people out there picking you, it's got to feel good, right? People go, hey, this guy, fuck yeah.
It feels good. It's I believe in myself, but when somebody else believes in me, it kind of how do I say, makes those validates the way I feel. Oh, good. I am good. He thinks I'm good.
It validates your thought you have in your own head about yourself.
Yeah.
When somebody goes, that Josh Parisian guy's a badass, man, and you always thought to yourself, hey, I'm a badass. And then you hear other people that you've never met say it. You go, all right, man, I'm good. But again, don't buy your own hype. Don't drink your own Kool-Aid. First of all, you don't want to drink Kool-Aid during fight week anyway, so don't drink it. But yeah, you have to keep yourself mentally sharp. And part of that, I believe, is, almost having a thought. And again, I'm not a fighter, so I don't know. But I would almost say, for some guys, having the thought that I could lose this motivates them to make sure they don't.
Yeah, no, 100% for sure. I have to believe that my opponent is just a bad dude. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I won't train hard. I'll go in there and I won't be sharp, and just I gotta anticipate the hardest match that I've ever had coming.
Yeah, I don't think a guy like you who's been really grinding this, like you said, for 10 years, to get here in the first place. And Parker's the same kind of, it's kind of the same story, but a different heavyweight. I mean, Parker's the same guy. He's been grinding forever to get here, and he's finally here. So I don't think anybody that's on either bandwagon, either corners, either fighter's corner is worried about you not putting in the hard work and not being prepared because, again, wow, it's been so long for you to get here. I don't think we're going to worry about Josh not being ready. I don't think we got to worry about Josh being worried about, anything. You've been here, you've been out to the Apex, you've done the Contender Series a couple of times. So fight night for you isn't going to be overwhelming. It's going to be in the Apex. You've been there. It's like home. There's no people there. I mean, it's for guys like you and Parker and some other ones that have made their debut this year in this crazy time. I think the way this has worked out for a lot of you guys is the perfect indoctrination into the UFC. Not crazy with the hype of fight week because, there's less public appearances, there's less, this, that, and the other. Now, when we go back to normal, that first one where you got 60,000 people that are going to be in attendance and you're doing all this poster work and you have to meet every media fucking person in the world because they're following you around the hotel going, hey, that could be overwhelming to anybody. Even, the fifth or sixth time you do it, it's a lot of work. But now it's like, I'm just going to Vegas, beat somebody up, come home. I mean,
yeah, no, my coach and I just played World of Warcraft for the entire quarantine and then go fight. Just a really chill kind of thing. And you walk out there, nobody out there. I can hear my corner super well. It's really not a stressful thing at all for me. I've heard that some people don't like the not having a crowd and all that, but
some people feed off it,
it.
so I get that. I like both sides because some people want the crowd. Like, Mike Perry posted up the other day, he goes, I need to fight in front of 65,000 people in Las Vegas. Mike Perry is a guy that feeds off the crowd. Now, Mike Perry can also go out there and fight without the crowd, but preferably he wants to have that 65,000 because when he does go out there and do something glorious, he wants to hear the crowd. He wants to hear the cheers and the adulations. And then there's other guys that go, I fought in front of 65,000 people and I fought now in the Apex. I don't care. I'm getting paid. I'm going out there and doing my job. So, Drew Gardner, he's a Michigan advocate for fighters. He wants to know, what's been your main focus in training at SFS?
Really working on, again, my last camp was kind of similar. I was really working on my athleticism. I feel like I've always been a great fighter, but I just haven't had the athleticism that matched. So just working on like the weakest link of the chain, I guess.
So athleticism, so cardio and things of that nature, more so than the ability to punch somebody or to stuff a takedown or to, secure your own takedowns. Those things you feel that you're good at. Obviously, and when I say that, I know you're still training all those aspects of the fight game, but the thing you're focusing on is where you feel is your athleticism, your ability to move your feet properly, keeping your cardio up in case you have to go the 3 to 5 round. I mean, you're not going 5 rounds this time, but to be prepared for 5 rounds makes sense. Because then 3 should be a breeze, So just, that stuff is what you feel is the most important to give a little extra attention to leading into this fight.
Yeah. So my athleticism, working on just punching and just my whole like kinetic chain from the floor to the top, all of that, creating power. Also, I realized that one big problem I have is it's harder for me to fight guys that are a little bit shorter and a little bit rounder. And it's when they settle on me on side control or anything like that, it's so hard for me to get out of that position when all their weight is just centered in one spot and it's laying on you. And I realize that that's just such a problem for me. And I don't have many heavyweight training partners, so I get lazy with my frames. A small guy, I can my frames are out, I can push him away, but like I'm really having to focus on. Now that I have heavier training partners, to keep my frames tighter and just a stronger position and building frames immediately, not letting weight settle on me, building frames and trying to get back to my feet.
Yeah, that's
because
go ahead. No, go ahead.
If I got on my back and I got him on top of me, a lot of things had went wrong to get there. You know what I mean? So
right.
That is like the last piece that I worst case scenario that I'm working on, but I'm also working on every other aspect of from the feet to the takedown to the frames, everything before I even get there.
Awesome. You're right. Having a 265 pound or 280 pound guy laying on top of you, I don't care how big you are, that shit sucks. And got to make sure you move them hips, get them hips working, get that guy off you as quick as you possibly can, scurry up against the cage and do your get up to your feet.
Yeah. And it's not a 265-pound man isn't always that hard to get out from underneath if their weight is kind of spread out everywhere. But like Parker is a little heavier in the midsection, you know what I mean? And that's actually like people would think that that's very easy to deal with, but it's harder in grappling situations because once they set their weight on you, it's like a planet just pinning you down. It's hard to get out.
I wouldn't want to be under either one of you guys, man. Even if your weight was evenly distributed all around, I'd be dead. So let's just be real about it. So before I let you go, because we're winding up here, I got my next guest sitting in the green room. It's James Krause coming on next, man. So excited to have this guy coming on. He's cool dude, man. I've wanted to get him on for a long time. I finally got him. So I'm excited. But before I let you go, just tell everybody watching out there, what we should expect to see, because a lot of us have seen you fight already with the Ultimate Fighter and with the Contender Series. So what should we expect to see in this version of Josh going into the debut?
I feel like the same thing that you always see. I always try to get a first round finish, but now there's a $50,000 opportunity there. So just going out, being fast, and trying to put somebody to sleep.
Awesome. Well, listen, drop your social media on everybody here real quick before we let you jump on out of here. This week you can go hang out with the baby mama and the baby.
Parisian MMA is for my Instagram, and for Twitter it's just Josh Parisian.
Josh Parisian. That's it, man. Well, listen, brother, thank you for taking the time, man. Excited to see the successes you're having in life outside of fighting, having a baby and raising a family and all that stuff. That's the important stuff. Getting your mom back out, in December, that's going to be another big, important move for you guys. And I'm happy that, like I said, that she's a survivor. She went through some roughs and ups and downs, and, she's got to, do a little thing here. But the fact that she's still alive today, to be around to see you succeed and to meet your granddaughter here in December, I mean, that's the biggest blessing you're going to get all year, brother. So, congratulations to that. And like I said, please share her. You saw the people commenting here. They all are in your corner and in hers. So good luck. God bless. And, a couple of weeks from now, we'll see you in the octagon, dude. And after, win or lose, we'll get you on. Maybe I'll get you and Parker on together and we'll have a good time. Because like I said, he's good people too. So we'll talk soon. Stay out of trouble. Don't drink your own Kool-Aid.
Always.
All right, brother. Be well, man.
I appreciate you. Yeah.
Anytime, man. You're awesome, man. I love you, bro. Be good, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. See ya.
All right. Boys and girls, that's Josh Parisian. He's fighting November 28th against Parker Porter in Las Vegas at the Apex. So he's going to dip on out right now. Happy to have him come through again for the second time. But tonight, I'm going to fanboy a little. I'm going to tell you guys, man, because I've been a fan of this guy for a long time, and I don't fanboy much because, I know all these people now, and I meet all these fighters and everything. But this is one of the guys I haven't actually had the chance to meet, and I like him a lot. I like what he stands for as a fighter, as a coach, and just as a human being. He's got so much knowledge, so much information, and he transfers it to fighters that he works with all the time. And we're going to get him on the show right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the first time to Cage Side with Christopher James, the James Krause. James, how are you, boss?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, I'm just sitting there kicking it. I got the Apex behind me. If you don't like that, we can move to the beach, whatever. I got all kinds of good stuff.
Whatever you want.
Happy to have you on here. We briefly spoke a little while back, guys. You were in your one of your fighters' corners, and we got to chat for a couple of minutes, and that was awesome, and that's what led us to here. So before we get into all your fight coming up and this and that and the other thing, I do want to ask you the one question I've been asking people that have come on for the first time or during this year. How has COVID affected your daily life? Like, can you give us just a brief breakdown of what life was like prior to COVID invading our lives, and then a day in the life of James Krause since COVID has invaded our lives, if there's any major differences?
Yeah, it really, honestly, it really hasn't affected me much in any negative light at all. My gym was closed down for about a month, but other than that, I mean, we've been up and operational for quite some time. Yeah, so it hasn't really. My fighters are getting better. My fighters are getting more opportunities because people are dropping off. So that's it, man. It's helped me. You know what I mean? It's helped me. I'm busier. The gym's doing really great right now. Yeah, I can't complain, man. It's been a great thing for us.
What about for family life? Your personal life with the family outside. Has it been difficult with dealing with all of them as far as
just the annoyance of it? I mean, like all the rules and stuff like that you have to abide by or whatever. But I'm in Kansas City. I mean, it's really not. We're in the Midwest, man. It's really not that big of, you know what I mean? It's nothing like California, Florida, somewhere in there. It's nothing. Yeah. Nothing like those.
I live in Florida, man. We've been hit some crazy stuff. Now California, they're telling you how you can celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah. I mean, this is just a bunch of crap right here.
Nothing like that. Nothing.
So
like that.
It's nuts, man. So the one question, and it's probably been a long time since somebody actually asked you this question because you've been in this game for so long. And I've probably heard the answer, but it's been so long, So I just maybe a 30-second answer to this one. What made you decide in life? When did you know that James Krause was going to be a fighter, in the UFC and doing what you do? I mean, when did that come about?
I don't really have a good answer for that, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like this is something I did one day and I accidentally got good at it. I just enjoyed the sport. I got good at it, and like I just kept accidentally getting better, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I kept getting bigger and bigger fights. I have won fights, and then one day I just ended up in the UFC.
It's funny, man, because that's probably the most honest answer I've ever heard from any fighter in my life. It's always, oh, I was doing this my whole life because I wanted to do it, everything. And I like it by accident. I just, decided I wanted good at.
Yeah, of course. There was moments where, there was a moment where I felt like it was a reality. You know what I mean? There's moments where I feel like it became more of a reality, to where, like, hey, man, like, you can do this. You know what I mean? I would say, like, my RFA days, like, probably like 3 or 4 fights. I got a call from the UFC. You know what I mean? Like, and then, where it really became a reality to me is when I started training with when Tim Elliott came to my gym and he got signed. He got signed. I was like, man, this is. And I'd had people that I trained with that were in UFC before, but I was coaching Tim, at the time. You know what I mean? So I was like,
Right.
man, this is a real thing. You know what I mean? Like, this is tangible. I can see this. This is not the old days, because it's been a while. You know what I mean? Like, this is something real that I can really do. It's right there in front of me. Hold on one second.
That's so much fun. That's a fun answer, because you're like, hey, I love it. I'm gonna have to clip this out later on and throw out a little clip of this, because I really dig the answer, because it's true. You can hear you in your voice that it's just true. This wasn't your intention in life. So
No.
What were you planning on being when you were younger? I mean, did you have a game plan of what you wanted to do in life, or?
No, no, I didn't. I wish I did. I was in sales. I was selling phones. I worked for T-Mobile.
Oh, cool.
And I was really good I'm good at sales. I still am. I own a gym, so you kind of have to be.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, right. I mean, you have to be. So, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I knew that I didn't want to work for somebody else. That I knew. I did know that.
Right.
And I knew I loved MMA, and I knew I was pretty good at it. And I thought other people thought I was good at it. And I was like, this is me. I'll take this as far as I can. And then, like, but even when I got into UFC, like, my first fight was like 8-8. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't make a real living. Well, my first fight, I also double bonus, so made 116,000 the first night. So that night changed my life, obviously. But, like, make 8-8, you can't make a living 3 times a year. If you go 2-1, you're talking about, I don't know, what is that, $50,000? If you go 2-1, if you fight 3 times in a year, that's close to $50,000, right? I mean, 16, it's not even. It's like 40 and some change. So after taxes and coaches fees and stuff like that, shit, you're looking at 30. You know what I mean? Like, you can't make a great living doing that. So, and I got a lot of criticism for this early, but with the gym, I stayed in the gym. I stayed running the gym, and that was where I was working at the gym at the time, and I eventually ended up buying it after I made my debut. But that was, I wasn't sure, man. I didn't know. I was a kid, you know what I mean? I was a 25, 26, 27-year-old kid. Wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I know I didn't want to work for somebody else. I did know that.
Yeah, and the fact that you did, you stayed in the gym after, and you bought the gym, and you just started running it. It's a cool story, dude. I think we can make like an NBC Saturday night movie about the life of James Krause on how he got there. Because there's probably, and for a lot of fighters too, but yours, that's just so cool. Like, I could sit here and just imagine, like, being in your head at that point in life, just going, all right, man, well, I did this. I got to find some money.
If you guys could understand how much I've changed, since, it really is incredible. Where I've came from. I had a rough upbringing. It's pretty incredible what I've overcame and what I've accomplished. I'm not to toot my own horn, but I'm proud of myself for, the things that I've done, because I don't come from a long line of successful people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to dive into that, but it's, I'm not supposed to be here right now. You know what I mean? I'm not supposed to live in this house that I live in. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not supposed to be here. So it's pretty cool to, to take a step back when somebody asks me that. It's pretty cool. And, even 10 years ago, man. 10 years ago, we're talking 2010. I
Yeah.
was making $20,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like it's and not even the money, but more the attitude is what's
Sure.
changed. You know, I've definitely taken a different approach to life.
You've grown leaps and bounds from where you were, and you probably grow leaps and bounds every day for you. One of the things I spoke to you about when I had you on, when you popped in during an interview, was your financial prowess, if you will. You've been very smart with your money. You invest your money properly. I heard you talking about on somebody else's show once before that jump in on mine, and I was listening to you speak about fighters being right with their money. And as a coach, you make money off some of these guys that you're coaching. When they go in the UFC, you get your piece of whatever. But you're not just in this to make their money. You're in this to help them make their money and to show them, the right ways to do it. Because how many fighters have we seen? They come through the UFC, they have a 6-fight career, they make a good chunk of change in 6 fights because they had a couple of highlights, and then a year they're out of the UFC or Bellator, wherever they were, and they're broke and they're working a regular job, shitty, and it's horrible. So, what was the point for you where you realized, okay, I have to be better with my money and I have to make investments and put in a property and everything? When did that moment come, and when did you decide that you needed to share that with other fighters because you don't want to see them on the breadline?
It's actually really funny that you asked me this because I'm speaking with I spoke with a new financial planner today. I talked with him for almost an hour and a half, and he kind of asked me a similar question. And I don't know if this is the right answer, but this is the answer that came to my brain first. And
Sure.
I fought in Bellator, and I took a short notice Bellator fight when that tournament first started. I cut like 33 pounds in 5 days. I should have went to the hospital. My kidney shut down. I was in a bad spot. And the tournament at the time, the first fight was 10,000 to show, 10,000 to win. And listen, I had just fought Donald Cerrone and Ricardo Lamas for 2,000 to show, 2,000 to win. So I had never even remotely dreamed about making this type of money. To me, this was it for me. You know what I mean? Like I made it. I fought. I lost, of course, because I cut so much damn weight. And I had $10,000. Well, after management and stuff, I had $8,000, which still, to me, I'd never had that in my account before. And I remember one day I looked at my account and I had like $1,700 or something like that, which was a norm. We, at the time we were floating like 1,000, 1,700 might have been a little high, but like I just looked down at my account and I was like, where the fuck did all my money go? Like I had no idea where it went. I called my I think we were married then. I called my wife now and I asked her, I was like, what happened to all our money? And we went back and we looked at it and we ate it. We ate it. We went out to eat every night and we just pissed it away. And the feeling that I had from that, like I was literally sick to my stomach. You know what I mean? It made me sick to my stomach. And fast forward to my UFC debut, I hit that big double bonus, and I had to sit down and talk with myself, and I was like, man, like we can't do this again. So how are we gonna take this money? Like, you're not touching this money. Like this money, we're not changing anything we're doing. This money is strictly going to make more money. How are we gonna do it? And I ended up purchasing the gym and doing a couple other things. The gym was a big one for me. So that pit in my stomach really made me sick, man. I couldn't believe that I did that. I couldn't believe that I made such a big mistake by doing that,
Like, we're young and we do those things, but it's a good thing you didn't eat 100 grand because you'd be super heavyweight James Krause. I mean, who knows how you would have moved back then,
Yeah.
But you would have had to work hard to eat 100 grand, but you probably could have done it.
Oh, I could have done it.
So what's the best advice you would say to a fighter right now, even, guys that don't hit that double bonus or even the regular bonus, but I think the average right now is 12 and 12. I think that's the lowest end of the spectrum in UFC. Yeah. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 12 and 12. Yep. So what do you tell these guys? Because they still have coaches' fees and manager cuts and all that stuff. Smart way to start with their money.
Yep. Good question. So it kind of depends, right? Like, so my first question is like, what were you doing before? How are you living? How are you paying your bills before? And we'll say, oh, I was driving Uber or I was working at this place. I said, okay, keep doing that. Keep doing that. And let's get through your first contract, right? Like maybe you can make some small adjustments, but the problem is these guys, you don't want to live off that fight money, right? Like you
Right.
can't live off that because you'll dwindle through it so fast. Like you just will, because the money isn't coming in. So you think that there's more, you mentally, you can't, most of us can't compartmentalize the difference. You know what I mean? Like you think that there's more coming in, but there's really not any more coming in. There's only as much money coming in as much as you fight. And if you're working on an hourly basis or a per fight basis or a per job basis, you're going to work until you die, right? Like that, you can't do that. So you got to figure out ways to make money when you're sleeping, right? And so my first piece of advice would be whatever you're doing before, continue to do that. And then get through your first contract. So if you're 12-12, let's go 14-14, 16-16. Let's just say you go 2-1, right? Because if you go 1-2, you're in jeopardy of being cut anyway. You might, not say that you can't, but I'm just saying you got to get. If you go 1-2, if you make it 3 fights, you're going to get through your next contract anyway, right? So
Right.
if they decide to resign you, so you get your first contract, and you'll be in the 18-20 range per fight. Go up 2 or 3 each side. This is UFC usually. So now if you win, you go 2-1. You're talking about, let's say you go 20-20. There's $40,000. There's $80,000. And then you go 2-1. You made $90,000 plus Reebok money. You're right at 6 figures. Then you can really start to do some stuff with that. My personal favorite is real estate. I really like to invest in real estate. I also live in the Midwest. The real estate's really cheap here. So I really like real estate. Meet with a financial planner. Look up stuff, ask questions. There's so many different things that you can do. Buy a business. You know what I mean? Like you have to find a way to make money when you're sleeping. You have to, because if not, you'll work every day until you die.
And there's plenty of guys out there that do it. I mean, David Rickles, a Kansas guy, he's got his car washes, and
yeah, it was great.
That's it. He goes, I go out there, I empty out the coin jars, I clean it up. And he said doing that one also kept him humble, to remind him that no matter how cool it is to be a fighter, on a big stage, that I still got to go up here and empty these trash cans on Monday morning after a fight weekend and clean my car wash. And he said it's always reminding him to stay humble. And, whatever business you choose, you got to remember that. I like that you have a gym, and I love that you've been investing in property.
Clean the bathrooms still. Clean the bathrooms, mop the floor. I'm not above that. And that's another thing about my fighters. Like nobody in that gym is above their team. You know what I mean? Like we're a very blue collar team. Like nobody is bigger than the team here. You know what I mean? Like I've told at some point I probably told every fighter in there to get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like I don't play that shit. You know what I mean? Like you're not bigger than the team. Like we're blue collar workers, man. We're work like you're making 20 a year, even though you're making 200 a year. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like that's my team. Is we're blue collar work ethic type team.
No prima donnas, no divas allowed on the Krause fight team. It just doesn't work. It's the wrong attitude to have. Peace.
Bricks, man.
So,
I don't need you. I had 35 people on my mat this morning. I don't need anybody. I got plenty.
Yeah, you don't need to babysit 36. You got 35, and sometimes being the head coach and being the owner of the gym, it's like being a dad and a babysitter, and big brother and all that. And it takes special people to do that. People go, oh well, that guy can fight, so he can be a coach. There's a lot of guys I know that can fight that cannot coach. It's two different worlds. So I laugh sometimes when I see some guys I know, and I won't mention their names, but like they try to coach fighters, and and I'm going, man, this guy's a good fighter, but he can't coach. He doesn't know how to translate the knowledge properly in an effective fashion, and that's a gift. You can't learn to teach. You either are a teacher or you're not. So the fact that you realized younger that you could teach, you're coaching guys up and everything, and it's translated into
if you can teach, you got to be a leader. Just because you can teach well doesn't mean you can lead people. There's a difference, man. Like you got to, in order to be an MMA coach, you have to be a good coach, and you have to be a good leader, because they don't trust you. Like you can say all the knowledge, but if there's no trust there, if there's no leadership there, you're not guiding them in the correct direction. There has to be leadership as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. And you like I said, you have all the attributes of being, at some point in your career, when you decide to hang up your gloves at one point, who knows when that will be, and maybe even before you hang up your gloves, you might have yourself a world champion in there. I really feel that, and I think I said that to you the last time. I feel you're going to train world champions. You remind me so much of a young Pat Miletich. He had the right leadership. He understood and he trained champions. His the Miletich fighting system changed the game in MMA. It was part of the evolution needed. But he was so phenomenal at coaching. I love the dude. I got the honor to work with him on Access TV and HDNet Fights when we were doing the XFC. And so that's the first person I think of when I see you and what you're doing out there. And like when I see a guy like, like Witt, go out there and get his first, the win in the octagon, and how I still love how he carried him over to the other side of the octagon, brought him to you like here, Dad, here's dinner. Boom, right in front of you. But there's a lot of guys that don't get it. And like I said, when I compare you to Pat, I think you understand the accolade I'm giving you. And I appreciate there's not a lot of guys I would say that about, but I fully feel like you're this generation's version of that. Because you got it all. So, and that's why I brought up Witt. You're sitting there octagon side, and again, I don't have to butter you up with the praise, because you know who you are, you know what you do. But how does that make you feel when the guys know? Let me bring him over to the corner, and because some guys tune out the coach. I mean, you could hear a coach yell one thing, and the guys do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Your guy's like, all right, let me get him over to the coach. I need coach in my ear, and I'm going to do exactly what coach says, and I'm going to, go to a win, and it's exactly what happened. So how does that feel for you to have that real good connection with a guy like Witt? And what was your thought when you saw him walking him all the way across the octagon going, oh, shit.
Yeah. So I actually, in an interview, I'm going to let him answer this. I'm going to paraphrase it for him, but, somebody asked him a very similar question, and, he brought up the fact that he's like, he said that he knows anything that I would tell him I've already done many times. And like, I would never ask him to do something that I haven't done or wouldn't do. Right. I think he respects the fact that what I teach and what I show, I still am actively doing these things. Like if I show a takedown on you, I'm hitting you with that takedown. You know what I mean? Like I still am very active. I'm very in tune with the game. He knows I have an obsessive personality over how to approach the game. But I think the short answer to all this is trust. I think my guys trust me, and that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to build up trust with somebody. Trust is like a bank account, right? Like if you make a lot of deposits, it's okay to take a withdrawal sometimes because there's plenty of money in there, right? But I think what a lot of times these coaches do is they'll just withdraw, and at some point their fight goes bankrupt, and whenever that happens, you lose trust with the guy, and that's when you see them not listen or whatever, But I feel like because the culture that we have in my gym, in our gym, is very team friendly. Like nobody is above the team, and I have no problem kicking somebody out if they don't fit that culture. And I have told many people, no, I don't want you in my gym because they don't fit that culture.
Right.
So yeah, I think we're all family, we're all friends, and we all trust each other. We all trust that. They trust that if I say left, I mean left, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm not bullshitting. I know it's left. If I say left, I know it's left.
And if you tell a guy left and he goes right, do you give him a little shit after going, I told you to go left. Why aren't you listening?
I say it all the time. Man. Like these guys, like something like, and listen, it takes time, and it's a lot of experience to be able to trust, right? And I say this all the time. Like if I say something like, "Oh, you're gonna go out, you're gonna murder this dude," I don't even know, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna go through, you're gonna take this guy down, and like, I'll say something like, "As soon as you get to half guard, you're gonna cut through him or whatever," and then of course they'll go out, get to half guard, and they'll bust all right through him. I fucking told you, like, just listen to me. Shut the hell up and just listen. Quit fighting and just listen. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely don't know it all. Trust me, I don't know it all. But I feel like I have a very obsessive approach to this game. And I understand the game better than a lot of people, I feel like. And
Sure.
I'm able to see, especially like stylistically, fighter A versus fighter B. I feel like I'm very good at being able to tell what's going to happen before it happens. You know what I mean? Like potential problems, potential strengths, potential weaknesses, roadblocks. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm good at saying, hey, man, like, this is good for us. We got to go through here. But if we run into this, there could be a problem here. I feel like I'm fairly good at seeing those things before they happen. And, sometimes the guys, your ego gets in the way. You know what I mean? Like, they talked about it in my fight. Like, when I fought that Claudio Silva, I know how to grapple. I'm a black belt. I can grapple. But why the hell would I want to grapple with this guy when I'm outstriking him? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. It's just it all boils down to that goes into fight IQ, which is, in my opinion, we have 5 things that I feel like that my team is talking about that not many other teams are talking about. And that's one of the 5.
What are the other 4?
Fight IQ, blending everything together, clinch, cage control, cage takedowns like cage wrestling, and what was that fight IQ? Organizing your game.
It sounds like a formula of success. Do you find it hard for yourself to be coached when you're in a fight?
Opposite. I'm extremely
complete
coachable.
opposite. Totally coachable.
Yeah, I know. I know. Think about it. I'm yelling at these guys every damn weekend.
I figured sometimes like guys that do coach, that are active fighters. Sometimes I feel like,
right? That goes back to the trust. You got to practice what you preach. So if I'm screaming at this guy to fucking listen to me, I gotta show that I'm able to be coached as well.
Yep. Who's the guy that's your number one in your corner to run your corner when you're in the fight rather than being the number one in somebody else's corner? Who's the guy you look to?
My coach is Mark Montoya out of Factory X. I've been with him since 2015. And man, we really haven't lost. We've lost some fights, but like I lost the Giles fight. That's the first fight I've lost with him is the Giles fight. I took that on 24 hours notice at middleweight.
Yep.
So first and only fight I've lost with him.
All right. So Claudio Silva, when you went into this fight, there were a lot of people that didn't think you were gonna to win this fight. I was not one of them. I picked you to win because I knew that on the feet he wasn't going to be able to match up with you. On the ground, he's a grappler. That's what he does. He's got a black belt just like you and everything. And he might have a more of a opportunity to win. But I knew if you kept it on the feet, like you said, because I watch fights, I break them down. I try to be
even if he got me down. I just fought Sergio Moraes. He's a 4-time world champion, credentially tenfold better jiu-jitsu player than Claudio Silva is. He started the fight 10 seconds in the fight and top side mount, bone dry. He didn't do shit to me. Like, I know how to grapple. You know what I mean? Like, like how if you can't grapple me, how are you gonna beat me? Because he ain't gonna outstrike me. He ain't gonna out wrestle me. You know what I mean? Like,
none of those guys are gonna outstrike you.
Claudio's a great fighter. I just think stylistically, I'm a really difficult matchup for him.
Yeah, and that's why you get those victories, man. Because you get
and
those
I can fight everywhere. That's a lot of like the one discipline guys like Sergio Moraes, Claudio, like. The one discipline fighters I match up really well with because I can fight everywhere. I'm comfortable everywhere in a fight, everywhere, and I blend everything together well. You know what I mean? Like, keep giving me the one discipline guys. I can fight those guys all day, no problem.
Yeah, and for you that's great because like you said, when I said that, obviously I knew if you stayed on your feet you were going to win. It wasn't to disrespect your ground because I've seen you work the ground, so I know I know what you can do. It's funny that they keep putting you in fights with one-dimensional fighters. It's like, all right,
say anything if you won't.
Yeah, thank you. But at the same time, you could take on the most seasoned, well-rounded fighter in the world and still do your thing and still come out victorious, and that's what makes you good at what you do. Terry Crow is on here watching. I'm going to throw you a couple of comments before we let you get out of here. He said you are the uncrowned champ. Do you know Terry?
No, the people's champ. Let's go. Let's go, Terry. I like you, bro.
Champ. So the one thing I haven't seen on your resume yet is that big UFC title shot. So is that something you're still working for? And
I can give two shits less about that, bro. I don't care about that shit. I'm a prize fighter. I give fuck less.
Prize fighter.
Don't care about a number next to my name. Don't care about. This is professional sports. I'm trying to get in, make as much money as I can, make that money, make me more money, and get the fuck out. I'm not trying to be 40 years old, get my brains beat in, not being able to write my name, not being able to remember spending time with my kids. No thanks. That's not the life that I want. I've never, not one time, go find an interview where I said that I ever cared about being ranked, I ever cared about being champion. You won't find one because I don't.
Never heard one. I just figured I got the opportunity, got to ask.
No, I'm with it. It's just not something I've ever cared about.
Yeah, one of my viewers, my number one follower, probably Forrest Daniels, he wants to know who's been your toughest opponent to date, and You're a beast, by the way.
My man, Forrest. Thank you, brother. So when somebody asks me this question, there's two answers. When you say toughest fight, physically for me was the Giles fight, because I fought him on 24 hours notice. I had trained for 6 hours on Tuesday. That Tuesday, I'm not a middleweight. I was coming off the couch. I literally had a Coke in my hand, and I just killed like a murderous steak bowl of food when I accepted the fight. So physically, and most people, I don't think I've ever told this to anybody. I don't think I've ever told this to anybody in an interview, and I don't really like talk about it, but it's the truth. I was shit hammered drunk the night before weigh-ins, doing shots at a party in Houston. I was hammered, and I hardly ever drink. Hardly ever. Once
on the Giles fight?
Yes. Yes. I hardly ever drink, man. Hardly ever. But I was piss hammered drunk doing shots.
And you still fought to a split decision.
Yeah. So physically, the Giles fight is, but when you say the toughest fight, skillfully, like who was the best fighter that I fought, is Masvidal.
Sure. Yeah, Masvidal's a beast.
He's very good. He's the definition of a veteran. Like he's so good at staying just right one step ahead of you. When you turn it down, he'll turn it down with you. When you pick it up, he'll pick it up with you. He's got very, very underrated wrestling and grappling. He's a very good grappler. People don't give him enough credit for that. He's tough as shit. Always comes in shape. He's good. He's a complete fighter, man. He's really good. Very skilled.
Yeah, and now he's street Jesus. You know, he reinvented himself. You know, and that's something, you know, I'm happy to see for him, because, you know, he reinvented himself, knocking out Ben Askren the way he did, you know, reinvigorated his career, brought him to the top, you know, the world, then the Leon Edwards thing backstage, three-piece in a soda. And I'm happy because that guy's been grinding a long time. So it's good to see him have that success. Who's your favorite guy that you fought? Like, is there somebody out there that you know, and outside of Masvidal, because you just showed all the respect?
I like Masvidal a lot.
But there's somebody else out there that you just said, man, it was just fun fighting this fucking guy.
Yeah, I would say probably the favorite guy I ever fought is probably Sam Stout. He's one of the nicest guys. We still talk to this day. One of the coolest dudes I've ever met. Actually, I was fortunate enough to meet up with him in Abu Dhabi, not this last trip, but the trip before. One of the coolest guys you can ever meet. I'm still to this day a huge Sam Stout fan. You know, I love watching the dude fight. He's definition of a warrior. Sam Stout is my answer.
Is there somebody else out there that you haven't fought that you would love to tangle with inside the octagon, whether it's for, you know, title or non-title? Like you said, doesn't matter to you. You know, obviously paycheck matters. But is there anybody out there just go, you know, it's stylistic, I'd like to step in there and throw down with this guy?
No, the guys that intrigue me more than anything are like the OGs, your Diego Sanchez's, Carlos Condits, like those guys. You know what I mean? Like I grew up watching those guys, and for whatever reason, those fights intrigue me more than rankings and shit like that. I'm not gonna fight enough to be to fight somebody that's ranked. They want me to fight like 4 times a year, 3 times a year. I'm just not gonna do that. It'll be once or twice a year for me. I have too much other shit going on.
Gotcha. And you know, you got to take care. Like you said, you're in this as a professional athlete to make as much money as you can, walk out with your body and brain still intact. So, you know, and you've got a business to run, a family to take care of. So if you could fight twice a year and you're cool with that, and they're willing to keep you on the card, screw it, man. That's to me, a guy like you, the fight time is your recreation. You know, everything else in life is business, but that's when you get your recreation. That's James's time. That's James's time. So, how's your leg? You know, in the Silva fight, you know, you hurt your leg. How are we feeling? Surgery coming up, or are you going to be able
no
to
surgery? Just a partially torn MCL. Nothing. Just rest and recovery. I'm holding pads every day. I actually did striking for the first time. I can't really like low kick much, and left to right stuff is hard, but linear is fine. Like it's no problem at all.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad that no surgery is going to be required for you, man. Surgery on a leg, man. Oh, yeah. Like I get the chills thinking about it because I know what that entails for people. I've had some, you know, little surgery on one of my knees a long time ago, and you know, from playing football. Damn, that sucked. Bad you know. Well, listen, man. This has been like one of my favorite. I've interviewed so many people. This has been one of my favorites because it wasn't just about the fighting. It's just about you as a person. And there's so much knowledge that, you know, for you guys that are watching, that you could take from this interview, you know, and it's cool. You know, like I'm looking at you, you know, I'm guessing your home, your house looks like, you know, behind you, it looks like it's looks like it's a lobby in a huge Vegas hotel with the circle and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's pretty pimping, man. And that's what success is. That's what, drives you and motivates you. And, for you younger fighters out there that might be watching, James Krause, like you said, he came from a rough background. He didn't think this, nobody thought he was going to be here. He didn't think he was going to be here.
No.
Just a few things, stay focused, stay motivated, be smart with the money, get some advice from a financial planner along the way. And, just go ahead and make it happen. So you don't have to, work at Blockbuster Video, even though that's not around anymore. Just the point of, you're not going to take one of those jobs after, you can stay in the fight game, you can make your money, and then you can retire and take care of your family. I love the puppy right there. He's ready.
It's a 115-pound puppy.
One other question I forgot to ask real quick. You have, how many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids of my own, and I have custody of my 15-year-old sister as well.
So that's how many? Did you say again?
3. 2 of my own, and then my sister.
2 and 1. So you got 3 there. What's harder for you, taking care of the kids or taking care of your fighters in the gym?
Oh God, kids way harder. It's not even close, man. There's kids. I had my 15-year-old sister, I have a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Nice.
Just to give you guys an insight of the kid's life, my 5-year-old last night had a complete meltdown about she lost her tooth became loose, and she had a meltdown about that. Like, wanted no part of that. Complete meltdown. So, and she just lost it tonight. So she's actually way better now. So she realized that she gets money. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? The tooth fairy comes after that. So she's better, but she had a complete meltdown. It's like having kids is like trying to explain what color the direction blue is.
I totally understand, man. That's nobody's ever worded it like that, but
yeah,
understanding what color the direction blue is. That is perfect. I'm going to write that down, and I'm going to put that out as a quote. That is the from the minds of the James Krause. This is what it's like being a parent. That's good stuff. Well, listen, man. Thank you for taking the time, man. Like I said, in the beginning before I brought you in, somebody I always wanted to talk to. One of the guys I respect so much, not just as a fighter, but as a coach and as a human being. And like I said, the words I said to you about being this generation's version of Pat Miletich, I meant that from the heart, dude. And there's not a lot of guys out there that are that, and you know what he is. He's the first UFC welterweight champion. That might be the only thing you might not accomplish and you don't care about is getting that title belt. And who knows? You've always shown your willingness to take a fight. So who knows? Maybe somebody else will pass out on.
I'll definitely take it. I'll fight anybody. You pay me right, I'll fight anybody.
Yep. So maybe one of these guys that's coming up in a title fight will be like, I can't do it. James goes, oh, I'm there cornering my guy. I'll take the fight, and boom, you end up world champion. I mean,
yeah.
Hey, well, listen, God bless you, and to you and your family, and to your gym, and all the success. Congratulations on pulling yourself up by the the boots, and showing people that success can happen if you put the work in. It's not, nobody's going to do it for you, and you're the epitome and living proof that put your head and your heart and your mind into it, you can achieve it. So, congratulations, and you should be proud of yourself. Like you said earlier, I don't want to do it, but you should be proud, dude, because it's how many guys you see that don't get it done, so be proud. So
thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, listen, man, you enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks again. The house looks beautiful, and congratulations again on all the success, and we'll talk to you again another time soon, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Hey, guys, that was James Krause, the James Krause. I feel a little giddy right now. I'm just going to tell you honestly, man. I feel like, I just talked to a guy that I've been a huge fan of, and he's so, if you just tuned in, go back and watch the rest of this interview and watch it from the beginning. This guy's so smart and knowledgeable, and he really gets shit done. And the fact that he's able to translate knowledge into a practical fashion for a fighter with their fights, and the fact that he can help them grow their financial end of their career. I mean, it's if I was a fighter, and I was out in that area, I would definitely try to get into that camp because, keep my ego at the front door, be part of the team, part of the family, don't be a diva. and I could probably find a lot of success out there. So, there you go. You know what, Forrest? I'm going to be honest, dude. I completely forgot. I got so lost in just, being happy talking to him. I forgot that. So maybe we'll get him on again and do it another time. So my bad. I was supposed to ask him to sing. I always forget, once in a while I forget, and I forgot with Mr. Krause, but that's all right, man. But guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it more than I can ever tell you. Where did that thing go? I always forget to change these stupid things on the damn thing because I get so excited. Anyway, so let's just take that one out too. Thank you for tuning in tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed my interviews and my conversations with Josh Parisian and Mr. The James Krause. Saturday afternoon, we're going live at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I believe. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 Eastern, 2 Mountain. We're going to talk with UFC heavyweight contender Curtis Razor Blades. He's a father, he's a fighter, he's a fiance. He's got it all going on, man. And continuing that march to title shot. And he's got a big fight coming up with Derek Lewis, which I fully believe he's going to win. And he has to be next in line for the title after Ngannou, loses again to Stipe, because I don't think Ngannou's going to beat him. He hasn't improved that much as a fighter. He's big and he can throw punches, but Stipe schooled him last time, and he's going to get schooled again. I don't see any change in the game for Francis, but I see Stipe being much smarter. That experience is going to come into play. We are also going to talk on Saturday afternoon to bare knuckle fighting championship fighter. Made his debut with Toe the Line. He got elevated up to the big show at BKFC 13. Noah Cutter is going to join us on the show. And I'm excited to talk to this kid. I was the ring announcer for his first bare knuckle fight at Toe the Line. A lot of energy, a lot of style, a lot of excitement with this kid. He's gonna be a star. And we're going to talk to him Saturday afternoon. So Curtis Blades first, followed by Noah Cutter. I might even add somebody else to the show. You just don't know. But that's it. Also, a couple of quick announcements. If you didn't see it, Paige Van Zandt is going to debut with BKFC in February, Super Bowl week. Super Bowl week is here in Tampa, which means that fight's going to take place here in Tampa, probably at the fairgrounds. They haven't locked down an arena yet or a venue, but I'm guessing that's where it's going to be. They had good success at the fairgrounds. So I'm expecting that to happen here in Tampa because we have the Super Bowl here, which is freaking awesome. Could be the first time in history a team that is hosting the host city has a home team in it. Buccaneers are looking good. I'm a Jets fan, but, you can't deny, I live here and I'm watching what they're doing and they're coming together and they're only going to get better as the season goes on. So interesting stuff right there. We're still waiting to find out if Khabib is retiring or not retiring. I think he's staying retired. I don't think he's going to break a promise he made to his mother, but you just never know, So it would shock me if he came back after making that public declaration and letting us know about the promise he made to his mom, but we'll see. Let's see. What else? Mike Perry is fighting Tim Means after Robbie Lawler dropped out. They were trying to get, different stuff, different opponents put up. Tim Dirty Bird Means is going to take that fight. So it should be another good fight for Mike Perry and Tim Means. And that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you again for letting me be a part of your lives today. And for you guys being a part of mine, I can never truly put into words what that actually means, but just know it hits me right here in the feelings. Thanks to my guests, Josh Parisian and James Krause, for joining us on the show. Until next time, which is Saturday. I am Christopher James. You all have been Cage-Side, and we'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Until the next time, guys, we out. Peace.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell's Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuit. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Go with the deuces. There you go, baby.